Hello, thank you for coming to Sovereign Vision Temple, Skyra. And who else out there likes playing with light? I'm like a little kid, and I was trying to set up. Look at this, it's so crazy. Isn't that awesome how light can actually change our reality? I was trying to actually set up a place where I could record my video today, and the light is coming through the windows. It's quite intense. But anyway, I just thought that was fun. I love playing in light, and anyway, fun for today. So, because what I'm going to talk about today is could be taken as um, it could be rigid, serious, I guess you could say. And because it is, but it's also not. It's just a reflection of our consciousness and where we are as a society and as a collective. And so my I'm kind of on a series about life stories, and so I'm going to share like things that have come to me and insights and things that I have received in contemplation um, during my deep dive 5 years into nature and into um, living out in a jungle, living off grid in Alaska, and just deeply immersed in nature and the things that she taught me that I was able to see, and whether it was through an actual just an experience or through an insight or even just some books that I was able to read during that time. Um, 2020 was a crazy time. I was up in Alaska, below or right above Ketchikan area, out on a island with my ex-partner, and he was building a cabin, and it was a 45-minute skiff ride from the marina down out to the island, and there was no power, there was no running water, um, no heat, nothing like that, no electricity. There wasn't even any cell phone service, and that was probably my most intense immersion that I've ever experienced for about 3 months. And the depths of the silence was actually too much for me at the time. It was too much. Um, it was a very extreme uh, immersion into nature that I wasn't quite ready for, but at the same time, it changed my life forever. And it's something that I'll never, once you go into those depths of that quietness and stillness and nothingness and the void, um, it will change you forever. And I had a lot of resistance at the time because I just, I was so wrapped up into having to have my phone and being connected, and it was, uh, it was the beginning of my deep dive into understanding where we are as a society and consumerism and commercial and where our structure is, and how the powers that were have created this, only because we allowed it, because it was a deep dive away from our spiritual end back into consumerism and materialism and into the physical and seeking uh, fulfillment outside of us, outside of um, and there's several reasons because of our disconnection from nature, our disconnection from the mother, which I call the divine mother, and whether it was intentional or not, it is definitely where we want to call, a lot of women want to call it the patriarch, which means, just simply means, it's the overly masculine, controlling manipulation, which is present not only in men but in women. So I just wanted to bring, and I'm going to be talking a lot about that on this channel. So if you're interested in that, and that's something that is piquing your interest, because there's a lot of talk about goddess and feminine energy, and it's so much more deeper than the consumer end that it's come through in the spiritual communities. Um, it's our deep connection into our body and in our immersion in nature that we have disconnected from. And honestly, with the misbalance in the world, we have and then the focus on consumerism and the focus on buying, and even look at, like, so right now we have the holidays coming up, and um it was a religious Christ holiday, which is fine and dandy, but my question is, why does it have to be a holiday to express and show love and and gifts to others? They've made it a consumerism holiday. They've made it where we have to feel guilty if we don't have enough money, if we have to go out and rack up credit cards to go buy gifts for people that we don't have money for. What is this? Where are we as a society? Now, yeah, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent today because it is literally one of the things that happened to me. You know, 4 kids, working day in and day night out, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to make more money to support, and thinking that my children I needed to give them things. It was the beginning of the video games and all that, and we just bought our kids video games and put them in front of a TV so we could work harder. And because we weren't emotionally available, and we didn't know how to be emotionally available, because that was how my ex and I were raised, in a lot of trauma of people not being distracted with addictions and needing to find things to make people feel good. And our children get shoved off. This is a reality. This is a reality. We're not meant to live this way. We are meant to be connected. We're supposed to be, I hate the word supposed to be. That's this these definitives and these labels, and um let me take a breath. Let me take a breath. I can really feel my passion in this, because it was the beginning when I was in Alaska, and I read this book, and I cannot remember the name of the book, but it asks the question, how do you want to live your life? How do you want to live? And it was all about our disconnection from nature, our disconnection and consumerism, and where we have been led as a society, and the banking system, the commerce system, and we are under a false program. We are working to pay the banking system, which is actually the system that is feeding wars. Um, so we're getting taxed. We're getting taxed, and everyone's, oh, we got to pay our taxes because it is taking care of our roads and opening schools. And, what system is it feeding? What system? The one that people are being told the truth or not about who we are? or the one that's being led to us for just to believe that we don't know our real history. We don't know. We're not being told if the taxes and everything are such a great system, then how come we're not taught how to actually uh to use it to our advantage? I will be deep diving into the commerce system and how for millions of years we have been used as a tool to feed the dark energy on this planet. And we until we realize our power and bring back our spiritual integration into our life and question why we have this need to go out and buy things and to it's not that there's anything wrong with buying things, but it is centered around like, okay, if it's such a holy time, why is it that we are going into debt? How come? Were we ever told that we need to go out and buy things from China and buy stuff from people from big corporations to express our love for others? How about just some gratitude? How about something handmade? How about we do this every day of the year and not just at a specific time that the corporations decided that this should be our little break out of our hamster wheel working to pay them to support that dark system. And a lot of people don't want to hear this because a lot of people can't handle the truth. And that's okay because the ones that can hear me and what I'm speaking of are the ones who are here to change our reality on this earth. We came here to speak it out, to show to speak about what's happening. And there's nothing wrong. It's just literally the state of our consciousness. And I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here uh to tell somebody they're doing something wrong or make them feel guilty. It's not that. It's just simply my channel is about awareness because there is no change without awareness. And so there's a lot of we need to be contemplating things. And when we don't have time to sit back and relax and contemplate because we're working all the time to survive, how do we contemplate? There's no time for that. So my life path took me into the deep wilderness with nothing. Okay, and nothing in societies, but in everything, and all of that nothingness, I gained everything. And that was deep insight. And I wanted to understand what had happened. I deeply wanted to see back millions of years what has happened and why is this beautiful planet that's supposed to be free in love and peace and joy, why are we suffering? Why are we living in so much darkness? And I sat in nature, immersed for almost 5 years, deeply contemplating, and then going into a place of really serious anger and rage. And then what I had to finally realize is that this is all this is all a like a play. It's showing us, it's reflecting. So I'm driving home or driving back today this morning. I went out and there's people on the sides of the street, on the corners collecting money from people that are now taking, it's not just, you don't see the bums out there, you see people with, and this particular guy had his baby and his like 3-year-old son out on the corner of a busy highway, just sitting there. I don't know if it's to make have sympathy, but it's really, it's a reflection, it's a mirror of what is happening. Where's our compassion? But we have compassion, we don't know what to do. We don't know, we don't know how to help people because it's the state of suffering and lack is coming directly from our own fear, from our own inner internal states of fear. So everything we see is a reflection of what our state of consciousness is on this planet. And that's all we have to see. We don't have to take it personally. We don't have to like go into depression over it. It's really, everything is just a dream to show us. And these people are showing up in our reality to show us what's happening for us to contemplate. What's happening as we're in our nice cars going to shop for this consumer holiday to buy all these gifts. There are people on the sides of the street with children who don't have enough money to eat. And none of it's wrong. None of it's judgment. It's just a deep reflection. And it's for myself, a place of contemplation. What can I do as as a human being, as a human being, is that we seem to forget who we are, to be a living example of love and joy and peace and compassion, but also my voice and my fire and my passion, because I won't, to be shut down, to not speak for me is death. To not be able to use my voice, whether that's my art, possibly. By the way, thank you for those who have subscribed to my channel. And it's so funny because I had a couple people subscribe and people leave my channel, and I know that I am speaking of things that people just can't, they don't want to face, they don't want to hear, and it's okay. And I used to be uh really driven by validation outside of me, really driven by, oh, I must not be saying the things that everybody wants to hear. Oh no, I must, people must be, I must be really offending people. Oh well, when we can stop being afraid of offending people for what's true or what is really happening, because we just want to sweep it under the rug and pretend nothing's happening. We want to just not face it because we have been conditioned to be quiet, to just keep it safe. And I can't do that. And that might be why I've been burned at the stake in my past lives. And some are going to be like, oh my God, she's too much. And that's okay. I like being too much today. And it's never a judgment. It's just all in bringing up awareness and contemplation. And we can also, there's this movement that's also going through, like, we just go into and and not we just stay out of it completely. And that's a bypassing state. Sorry. We can notice things and not judge them. Um, but there's a shadow happening because people don't want to face it. They can't face it in themselves. So they just go into like a state of bypassing. And it's really, I'm really not in a place of judgment. I'm not in a place of anger. I'm just in a lot of passion for what I am witnessing and noticing, and hope that this channel will bring some awareness to ourself without judgment, because we don't know what we don't know until we become aware. Because in our awareness is where we can begin to change our reality, our beautiful planet, and we can begin to bring back the feminine energy of nature, the divine mother, because there's a big imbalance right now. And we're focused on the outside. We're focused on consumerism. We're disconnected from our higher power, from spirit. And in nature, there was a reason they wanted to disconnect us from nature, because in nature is where we will actually connect with our heart, with our intuition, where we begin to feel safe. Our root chakra feels safe in nature because she holds us. She holds us. And if we're disconnected from nature, we don't feel safe in the world. We feel like we have to live in fear. Wouldn't it be, isn't it interesting how we've been disconnected from Mother, Divine Mother Earth, nature, and we are all focused on consumerism and the Santa Claus rather than the one truth of the light and the divinity within ourselves. That we don't have anything to prove. We don't have anything we have to offer and give unless it comes with complete grace and with servitude, when we don't want anything back. We just want to offer from our heart. We're not feeding the consumer system. We're just showing love. And it doesn't have to be with buying things. Just be with your loved ones and have a beautiful holiday. I will be back soon if you'd like to hear more of my ramblings and my wisdom. I have a lot of wisdom. I would love you to like and subscribe to my channel if you feel called to. And I also will be offering, I make things. I make jewelry. I love making things out of nature, and I make natural products. And so I will be putting those up for offer. And I also support people one-on-one with their health, with their emotional health, removing ancestral trauma, working through that, working through emotional wellness, and looking deep at the root causes of our uneasiness, our addictions, our disease in our body. And I help people release that. So thank you and have a wonderful day. Aloha.